have passed us. Now they're looking to book all their vendors for their wedding. Yep.
So, what are some of the big trends this year, in Dayton specifically? Because obviously there's trends everywhere, but Dayton has, some things that we do specifically too.
The things that you're going to see a lot this year are going to be that garden soft feel. So you're going to see a lot of peaches, pinks, whites, ivories.
Okay.
You're seeing a lot of vintage influence, so you'll see a lot of vintage furniture. You'll see typewriters. You'll see 1950s
There's
style.
The peach and whites you were talking
about. That's going to be an example of like the English garden type feel that you're seeing.
Okay.
This is an example of the peaches and pinks. This is in front of the courthouse downtown.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. These are all local weddings.
These are all local weddings. So this one, you're seeing a lot of the pinks and whites. Again, the whites and the soft peaches and the pinks are very, very popular this season.
You talked a little bit about kind of the vintage feel. Tell me about that, kind of using some of those and incorporating them into more of a modern wedding. How do they do that?
Oh, sure. You'll take little things, just like, for example, you'll use a lace overlay.
Okay.
And incorporate that with something more modern.
Okay.
Or I've had some couples use the old Smith Corona typewriter as their guest book. Or
that's cute.
Or they'll use an old 1950s style suitcase as their place where people put gift cards at the reception.
Okay. So just kind of adding those personal touches. There's kind of the lace that you were talking about. That looks, it's almost timeless, is almost kind of, if you didn't use the word vintage, almost like a timeless feel, so that when you go back and you look at your photos, you almost can't tell.
Right, and lace was all over the runway at this past year's bridal market.
Okay.
So you were going to see lace for the next few years.
What else, we talked floral a little bit. We kind of talked some colors and some decor. What other big trends are coming up?
Really the big thing is personalization as well. You're seeing people who will hashtag their weddings. So,
sure, that's huge.
So instead of having those disposable cameras from the 1990s, you're having Instagram, where you'll have hashtag, Bob and Joe's, wedding, and that's where people post the photos.
Sure.
And then that way they can see them through Facebook and Instagram. You can download wedding apps for free, and then your guests can upload photos there. So there's a lot of different things. You're also seeing a lot of signs.
Okay.
A lot of chalkboard signs. A lot of I've had 4 ring bearers this year carry down a sign that says "Here comes the bride" instead of having their little ring bearer pillow.
Okay.
You're also seeing them the brides getting customized gifts for their bridal party.
Monograms, it seems.
Exactly. Or like they'll have the hanger that says, Mrs. Miller or, Mrs. Smith.
Which makes a really cool photo.
It makes a great photo.
I think it's sometimes more about the photo, because the hanger you might be able to do something with, but you could also, decorate your home with that later or something, put it kind of fun in your closet.
Well, there's a lot of things you can do after the wedding with preservation. You can preserve your wedding gown. You can preserve your wedding bouquet. There's a great company in Dayton called Freeze Frame that does bouquet preservation, so you can put things like your hanger or your invitation or your new husband's boutonniere inside a little shadow box, or you can have it made into jewelry. So there's a lot of fun stuff that you can do with.
What do you do, Kathy? You've been doing this a while now, and an expert in your field. When the bride is they're stressed out with the planning, what's your tip?
Take a step back. Okay. Take a step back and realize this. The two is a big.